there, guys and girls. Happy Friday. Just had an amazing camp last weekend, and some of the things that we went over was swim training. So I'll tell you this right now, there are definitely some amazing swim coaches out there, and coaching swimmers specifically who are swimming, you might have some tips that are totally different just for them. But for triathletes, I do think that we can focus on a couple really core things that will really help. One of the things that I've had to learn was how to make swimming more proficient for myself so that I can try to have the times that I wanted to do. The good news is that when I started triathlon, I can't even believe how many years ago, I was pretty much terrible at everything. And I'm not kidding. I could not make the whole Olympic distance swim without having to breaststroke swim. So I know what that feels like. And then I know what it's like now to swim with some of the front pack swimmers. So I have experience at all the different levels. So the couple things that I wanted to talk about that I feel that triathletes really need to focus on is a couple of myths and a couple of tips. One is, I've always heard along the way, you have to swim on your side like a fish. I don't see too many fish swimming on their sides. Most fish I know swim on their bellies, right? And cheetahs are really fast, but I'm not about to run on all fours. So triathletes should be swimming on their stomachs. And what they're trying to say though is you want to have good hip rotation, and that gets you what feels like to be on your side a little bit. But here's the caveat. Swimming on your side and distance per stroke, in my opinion, are not the keys to fast swimming. And I can prove that because most really good butterflyers can swim just about as good as really good fast freestylers. And if rotation was the key to fast swimming, that wouldn't be possible, but it is. It all comes down, in my opinion, to height and momentum. So you want to make sure that you do things that maintain height and momentum in the pool. And remember what I said when I started. If you're a pure swimmer, you're going to train a little bit different because you're going to have an established kick. Most triathletes do not have an established kick. So triathletes that are out there trying to beat their head against the wall by just doing distance per stroke, I can swim with very few strokes from one end of the pool to the other, very slowly, but I can take very few strokes. Make sure you get the right strokes for you. And one of the ways that I have, just cutting to the chase, have found is your strokes should about equal your seconds. So if it's taking you 25 seconds to get from one end of the pool to the other, your optimal stroke rate is probably going to be around 25 strokes. So check that, and that's really easy to check, right? So swim for your normal stroke, count your seconds. Most people are going to be light on their strokes relative to their seconds. Try increasing your stroke rate just a little bit. Now the trick is you don't have to push so hard. And why you want to think about doing this is if you are slowing your stroke down too much and you also don't have a really good kick, then you're going to be sinking in the water, and you're spending a lot of the first part of your stroke trying to reaccelerate yourself back to the surface of the water before you can go forward. So that's the key. The other thing that I'll say too is, and why you need to be careful about trying to over rotate or overreaching, is that's where a lot of triathletes get themselves in trouble, is because they reach and they finish that reach by trying to get fully extended by reaching farther, and they start to twist instead of pulling their hips over and getting on your side a little bit, which gets that torque from the hips, and the hips should drive the shoulders down a little bit to help you get that little bit more reach. You'd be better off not trying to reach as far as you think and cutting your stroke what feels like a little short, although I promise you it won't. But what you'll be doing is getting rid of that final reach, which gets you to cross over, and now it's going to get your hips twisted and out of alignment, and hence the crossover. And now the rest of the stroke is going to be trying to get you sorted out there. Couple tips too. Catch-up drill. I really think that that's a good drill to work on for fuel of the water and for catch. However, I do feel if you want to practice, your shoulders should line up as they travel. It's really hard to do that on Facebook Live, so you'll have to come to one of our camps or clinics. But as your one hand crosses over about where your ear is, over your head, your shoulders should line up as a lever, and that should feel the sensation of that forward hand wanting to push down. That's the optimal time to send that forward hand down, where you're giving it some leverage from that hand coming up and over. So I don't want to get too overcomplicated, especially since I have to hold the phone with my one hand. We talk about it on our social communities, which we do every other week, the first and third Tuesday of every month. And we're going to do one on Tuesday as well. And welcome. If you come, it'd be great. Superflycoaching.com. Just sign up for the community. It's really inexpensive. It's $25 a month, and it includes a training plan. So it's actually cheaper to be part of the community and have access to all our plans than if you were to just buy one plan. This Tuesday, we're going to be talking about breaking down metabolic testing. So if people are doing that and you're interested in what all that data means and what types of protocols you should be asking for and what types of numbers you should be looking at, we're going to go over that too. And then we're also around for follow-up questions on things like swimming. So recap, make sure you're at your optimal stroke rate. It's probably going to be about strokes equal seconds. Don't overreach to the point you almost feel like you're swimming short. If you're crossing over, it's probably because you're trying to get full extension by twisting your shoulders instead of rotating on your hips. And again, you'd be better swimming a little flatter in the water so that you can maintain some height and momentum and not spend so much time crossing over. So with that, I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. My daughter's in town. It's 86 degrees here. She was just telling me it's about 30 degrees at home. So we're going to take advantage and head to the beach tomorrow and hopefully do some recreational swimming. So talk to you guys later. And again, Tuesday, superflycoaching.com. Please join the community and check it out. Bye.